know, they say athletes go into like different situations, but you just somehow have to figure it out and pull through. Yeah, I think there's a different type of energy that people like. It's to go on stage and to actually perform and be in front of a camera and have an audience. There's a lot of courage that has to come with that, and I don't feel like I really feel like I never used to have it. But when I think back, I tell myself, Bun, you did have it, but it wasn't, I don't know how I figured it out. And the one that I always reference is when I became student council president in middle school in grade 8. And I promise you, it wasn't until like last year I sat back and thought about this. And I was like, yo, that entire school of whatever it was, 400 or 500 kids, I don't know what we were carrying at that point in time, but they voted me of everybody in the school, student council president. And I had to go up there and make my 1-2 speeches and yada, yada, yada.
Yo, who's your ghostwriter?
You should have given me those gunshots. Boy. I'll give you this one. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Yeah. I'll give you that. Yeah. But nah, brother. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. Like, don't ever forget that.
Nah, I'm playing. Yeah.
I can tell you who used to instill that stuff in me though. Yeah. It was my dad.
That's
like
dope.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Like heavy.
So
heavy,
like
heavy.
You know
heavy,
what?
Heavy.
That's actually a really good conversation though.
That and the other, I can tell you karate.
That's important too. Would it be like just him, like a one-on-one bonding type of thing? Like when you're talking about yeah.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've really had this conversation with anybody that was a student president.
Student president?
This is big. What was that conversation like with your parents? I'm partially joking, but I'm kind of serious too. Like I'm serious. Like, so like, were they like, yo, we're proud of you? Like what was that like? Or was it just like, you didn't even tell them?
But watch this now. The big homie that was behind that whole event that Knots and I were working on.
Yeah.
I beat him out. On some slight flex.
Yeah. When you say he instilled it, I mean, like what? Did he like encourage you to go do it? Or was that like, I'm going to go do this?
When I was younger, my dad used to have, like, we'd be watching whatever it was, basketball, baseball, hockey. And he would tell me, like, he would turn the volume down.
Yeah.
And tell me to do the commentary for it.
Yeah.
So the no play-by-play, you don't hear any analysts at all. Color play, nothing.
Yeah.
And he would tell me to like say what's going on and whatever.
Yeah.
I had to have been probably like 8, maybe. So then I always felt like...
What sports?
That what?
That you're commentating for?
Yeah, it was hockey, basketball, whatever we were watching at the time. Baseball, It could have been whatever, just whatever's on the TV. But like I was saying, like thinking back on that type of stuff just last year, I almost wondered if he was manifesting this the entire time. And I asked him that, like, do you feel like you manifested me doing this thing that I'm doing now?
Yeah.
Because this entire time being in front of the camera isn't me.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it behind the scenes for what, like 15 years at this point?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I legit went and asked him that question. He didn't really have much of an answer for me, but...
What did he answer?
Man, that guy don't answer anything. Like everything's a debate.
Yeah.
And most of the things I do know, I don't find out through him. It's other family members, like stories that date back to 19 whenever.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I have my stories with him and the type of stuff that we used to do.
I feel like it's a combination of... How do you feel about it? Do you think he manifested it though?
Yep. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
I think so.
Is there anything else that you'd want to do though?
No. I mean, right now in this moment?
In like, general though. Like I feel...
being in the industry has always been what I wanted to do.
Exactly.
Funny enough, I was just having this conversation with a guy that I just started working with.
Yeah.
Who was he was doing something else in his career, in a different space, and then decided to go back to school to get into the media industry.
Smart.
Yeah, he
based on where the world's going right now. I mean, everything is media. This is everything every day right now.
Yeah, but I told him about my story when I knew I wanted to get into this type of space, but I didn't know exactly what it was that I wanted to do. And I was in my first semester in school, and I was I was at a point where I was fed up. I was done with it. Like I wanted to drop out. I think I told you this before too. And this is very early on in the program.
I don't remember the dropping out thing.
Early on in the program.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, it was a long weekend. Jermaine shared this story like 300 times at this point, but yeah, maybe I haven't told you. I was ready to drop out on some Kanye shit.
Yeah.
Like, my friend and I at the time, shout out Chris Strikes, I was sitting on the floor in the editing suite, and I was like, yo, I'm not coming back on Tuesday, bro. Like, I'm done with this. And he's like, me too. I don't think I'm going to come back either. I ended up going back to school and finishing the other, remaining 2 years in the program.
Yeah.
And he dropped out. Hopefully one day we can have him on here with us.
Yeah.
And he could tell his story.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those, I went this way and he went that way.
Yeah.
Because we became fairly close. Not like day-to-day brethren, but we became pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we would talk about, like making documentaries and music videos and all that stuff. And he went off and did it, whereas I got into the TV space.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually making my way to, I guess, on the camera. Never thought I'd be here doing this.
See,
and a lot of people that know me, I think they'd probably say the same.
Maybe they would say the same though. But like when I was asking you, do you think he manifested? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, did you want to do this? You're saying, yeah. So I look at it more like you manifested it. Like, I feel like even like, I just look at everything that way right now. Meaning if you really want to do something, even if it's the smallest step towards that something that you want to do, you take it. You know what I mean? Whether it's even recording yourself by yourself, you know, until you are whatever, to the level of whatever you need to be. But I don't know. I'm kind of.
But what is that? Is that the whole like the atomic habits type stuff?
In my head, it is
the way your way of thinking.
It's a combination. I feel like if you're organically thinking like that, I have a lot of thoughts. Everybody has a lot of thoughts. Everybody has a lot of dreams and goals and all that shit, right? The difference is what's the how? How do I get there? What do you have to do? What's the stats? What's the data? What habits can I form or things can I repeat that will get me closer to that, right? And I feel like that is the atomic habit stuff. But you get that in, like you just got to keep repeating this to get to there, right?
I totally get what you mean. Yeah. What you mean, and what I want to now say is, I think I got that with karate, like I just mentioned a while ago. A lot of people don't know that I did karate, and I went all the way up to my brown belt. I think it was my brown belt. I think it was my advanced brown, and I lost it because I was like 1 or 2 steps away from getting my black belt.
Yeah.
I think my test was even booked and everything for the following year or whatever it was. But yo, I used to learn a lot of those katas and all of that stuff. Like the discipline, dedication, and determination was literally part of our creed.
Yeah.
That we'd have to say like when we're there. And it's not because I know a lot of people that got into taekwondo or karate. They went to yellow.
Yeah.
And was like, never went back.
Yeah.
Stuck with it. Stuck with it. And it was my dad that used to bring me more times.
What location? Like what? Like did anyone else go there too?
But you know what the bigger joke is? Storefront. I started doing karate at Storefront. Northern Karate used to be in the basement underneath Dallas.
Yeah.
That used to be like a little banquet hall space that the man used to hold parties at. Then the karate place bought it. They were in there, and then after that, it turned into a Muslim center and some other stuff after that. But when we left Storefront, we went to Steele's in Pine Valley. Shout out Northern Karate. My gi, you seen my gi already, right? With the belts on the sleeve.
I think so. I think you cut them or something like that, right? Like,
yeah, stuck with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if the whole cutting belt thing is like something I'm not supposed to do, but
whatever. It's your belt.
I mean, I guess I earned it at the end of the day.
Now, it's funny. The reason I was asking, did anyone else go there that like you grew up with and stuff like that?
Shout out Liban. Shout out Joanna. Shout out Raymond. Shout out Lewis. There was a few of us.
Yeah.
That I knew from over there. Shout out Craig. Craig was like brethren.
Now, I feel like a lot of the brown kids or a lot of Punjabi guys, we have our version of that, which was, I guess, Mr. Chris, Sir Chris. I don't even remember how I'm supposed to say it, but Chris, I don't remember what the place was called though. Off of, what is it on? right by Rexdale, and I don't want to say Kipling, but like he's moved around so many different spots. I don't even remember if the exact spot exists anymore. He moved it a couple of times. But anyway, I'm the guy that went to Yellow Stripe and said, "All right, fuck this."
Yeah, I know. And Knots raised his hand too when I said it.
But we had some guys that went up to black belt or whatever, all that stuff too. But I mean, like, yeah, Yellow Stripe, I quit. It molded me into this whole next thing where the whole boxing thing started and all that stuff. But Taekwondo's where it started, and discipline's a big part of it, man. Knowing those patterns and all that shit, breaking those bricks.
People don't understand. Listen to me, yo.
Yeah.
People don't understand that level of dedication, because once you get to whatever it was, like purple belt, you can't forget what you learned at white belt.
Yeah.
You see those guys come back and make you do that white belt test?
Yeah.
You're waiting months before you get tested again, yo.
Yeah.
Those guys aren't playing with you.
Yeah.
But people will, like, trust me, yo.
You don't watch combat sports anymore though, right?
Nah, I'm not even into that MMA stuff. I can't do it. It's too much blood and gore. I can watch boxing, but I can't watch the MMA stuff.
That's crazy. UFC 281. Woo.
I'm slowly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm slowly creeping into it.
You gotta come out one of these days.
Slowly creeping into
like
it.
for what? Like if you don't like the grappling stuff or whatever, you want more stand up.
Nah,
this
you know
was
what
the
it is?
fight.
Nah, you know what once the blood starts coming out, can't look.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. I think with boxing, it takes longer for the blood. They'll start to bruise up before they start to bleed.
Yeah.
I could take it. And it's there's something about a man just using his hands alone versus grappling, because a couple of 1-2 man saw me grapple like a few times, and the karate comes out, so I can grapple.
Yeah.
But I don't know, boxing I can do,
like,
and I just can't get into the MMA.
Nah, see, I'm almost the other way around. Like boxing to me, it's interesting if there's like a storyline, like something's happening. Like this Jake Paul stuff right now is actually interesting.
Yeah,
to me.
for sure. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I don't.
Very interesting. Yeah,
It's not just the sport. I like the marketing behind it.
You
know what I mean?
Trust me.
I like what he's saying. I like how he's doing it. I like how what his plan is, what his move is, right?
Trust me.
And then I like the guy that's trying to jump into that. Like some people have some good liners,
and even the way they're mixing it up, where it's like sometimes it's a boxer, sometimes be my MMA guy you're messing with, and just the one that sucked the most to me is when Nate Robinson got knocked.
Yeah. That's the one that I didn't watch. That's the funny part. That's the one that I didn't watch. I think it's not that bad for him, because he's not supposed to be a combat fighter though, right? No. What, the way he just dropped and he's just done? Yeah.
Yo, that was bad, man.
You know,
that was bad.
But on that tip, you know what's worse? When these creatives make all these fucking videos. Like there's one of Tyron Woodley where he gets dropped and he falls through the ring. Yeah. Man. Fuck. No. It's like, yo, you gotta live with that for the rest of your life.
Nah, but your memory has to be short. You gotta
you need to keep it short, but that's there for life now.
Yo, but the thing is, because it's one thing to just not go on the road ever again. Sorry, it's one thing to just not turn your phone on or your computer and just block all of that stuff out. But to have to go on the road, and you know these like really ignorant people who don't give a F about who you are and your feelings, they're gonna point and laugh and be like, yo, you got knocked the fuck out. It's gonna happen in real life.
That's the internet too, though. You go online and you see that shit, but like, I don't know, fuck, it's gotta be next level. Like imagine his son. Like imagine, I don't know, maybe he's in high school or some shit. Some next kid comes up to him like, yo, I saw that meme. Dad's flying in the sky. How's the mattress? Like all that shit.
So I think we touched on this not too long ago too. And I was like, so what about, there's no moments, actually it wasn't you. If you have any high school moments where you'll never forget dropping a bomb on somebody or witnessing somebody get dropped like the heaviest bomb on. Like you got punked. Like you got like go home, and you might want to not come back the next day the way you just got punked.
Yeah. Off the top, I can't think of anything like that. Like for me personally, that I don't want to ever go back.
No, that you received or that you gave. Pause.
Yeah.
That's not a pause moment, but anyways, whatever.
Received or you gave. It could
I mean, I know it could be. It could be. I know it could be. Where's Jamil?
I don't have one right out the gate.
But yo, after the break, we'll do the whole Nas album. Still never got to that.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
what I want to ask you now,
Yeah.
it's considered a fairly intimate question,
Okay.
but what's your credit score?
That's a good question. I
You don't have to tell me, but
Yeah.
are you willing to share if like a female were to ask you? And are you confident in saying it, whatever it is?
I'd be confident in saying it, but if she's asked, who is she to me?
I don't know some girl you're talking to. Does it make you feel away? Because
Nah, that's actually a really like that'd be a responsible question. That's never happened before.
never happened to you?
Nah.
Yeah,
Nah.
eh?
Yeah. That'd be like, okay, let's have a good conversation, like a mature conversation.
You ain't afraid of it?
I'm not afraid of it. No, I feel like it'd be going the right way if the question's coming up too. But like,
True.
You know what I mean? Like for it to hit that level, I don't think it'd be something off Tinder. Like,
I mean, I've thought of it before, and I may have heard it somewhere a time or two, but how come there's never been no credit score challenge on TikTok, Instagram, to none of that stuff? How come nobody wants to stun on that stuff? I've probably seen like one or two credit scores on the internet like that surface somewhere, but I don't know.
how do you make that trending though? Like, how do you make that trend?
I don't know. Credit score challenge. They come up with all these random things these days.
Credit score challenge.
Nah, I'm on my own with that one.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
Whatever, man. All right, yo. let's.
I like the creativity though. That was good. That was good. It was different. It's unique.
Buddy, this guy really tried to. Don't do that, bro.
No, I'm actually being serious. It's different. Did you get it? Hold on, this is funny. Did you get offended by what I said? I didn't mean it offensively. I'm actually being serious. Like that's
yo, bro. I'm watching. Like,
you gonna take that picture now and show it on the
what time is it?
All right, so here's what I came across that I thought was kind of interesting, right?
Where do you get into? I was gonna say, go back to the
Hadouken! Oh,
what we said we're gonna talk to. NAS.
Yeah, let's go.
That Nas guy that's forever getting slapped in the face by Jay-Z when it comes to tracks and albums and.
Oh man, you're going that direction with it?
Give me those gunshots, man. Come on.
That was. You just killed the energy there. I didn't think we were gonna end up talking about Jay right now. What are your?
You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't even want to. I want to be able to.
But
just
my brother
Nas.
did point out to me, he's like, funny, Jay-Z hasn't posted or done anything, like nothing, no music, no single, no feature, no nothing on a weekend that Nas is dropping music.
I want to know when that stopped.
I
don't feel like Nas has dropped 4 for the last 3 years,
something like that.
Yeah, I don't think he's done anything for all 4 of them. I think that stopped a while ago when it got pointed out and everyone was bringing it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. What I was gonna ask is, what would you say your top 5 Nas albums are? I was listening to Hot 97, and they're basically going back and forth with it. I'm like, yeah, that's an interesting one. Like, what are you like to be able to compare this and potentially put it in the top 5? You have a top 5 Nas album list? Or are you too much of a J guy?
I mean, Nas, he's up there. Yes, he is up there. Are we going in order from 5 to 1? Or
if you could do that, go for it. I don't think I could do that.
But like, you see, my whole problem is, my favorite Nas verses and even some songs aren't even on Nas's albums.
So like, he's
a
feature on something else.
Those are some of my favorite Nas verses, because as much as I respect him, I don't listen to him the same way I listen to Jay. Because I very much respect Nas, like very much. And trust me, if I'm in a Nas zone, I'm bumping the Nas. But Nas don't hit me the same.
See, like what you're saying right now, I get it, because I'm the exact opposite. Like when I'm listening to Nas, or if I'm listening to Jay-Z, I'm not listening to him the same way that I'm listening to Nas. Yeah, from pretty much since their whole thing started out. And
that was always weird to me, the way people just went like this with it. Like it's either you're so Nas or you're so Jay.
I think it's crazy that we're talking about it because we're in fucking Toronto. And like to see that the impact of that came over here too.
That's very true. I mean, I think they know. I'm sure they see us show up at the concerts and the beer. Like Nas was just here for Beer Fest in the summer, and I mean, when Jay comes, he's at Scotiabank Arena, but when Nas comes, he's at Beer Fest.
That's all right.
It's like, sorry, Nas, but
I don't even know. It's like I'm the wrong man. The Nas fans are gonna be like, "Yo,
I know.
why'd you say this? Why'd you say this?" Fuck, they didn't believe in me. But
God did.
fuck. Great deflection. Nas is the GOAT.
Oh man, that was pretty damn good. Yo,
Did you take in the album though?
I did. I have been.
Yeah.
But I've been to like 3 J concerts.
Yeah.
Never seen Nas live.
Yeah.
Two or three J's.
That's crazy. I've never gone to a concert. Like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I
I've never
would
gone to a rap
honestly. I didn't
concert.
even start going to concerts until I was older.
Yeah.
and that's trust me. That I feel like that's a whole other perspective that a lot of us that come from these like communities,
Yeah.
have no idea about.
Yeah.
There's trust me, because it's when you go to these events sometimes and you are around that many people
Yeah.
who feel that same feeling that you do whenever that song comes on,
Yeah.
and they're rocking out with you. It's like there's a different type of
I get
energy that you pick up, and
I get that.
feeling.
See,
Some of us don't care for it the same way, but like thinking back on it, it's like, holy, I was there to witness some of these moments, and I remember them because of like,
that feeling that you're talking about, I feel like is like when you go to a sports event.
yeah, same thing.
You
It's
know
the same
what I mean?
thing. Yeah, same thing.
I've never experienced it in that type of arena though. Like
Neither-
I've never gone to like
trust
a
me,
concert of someone that I really enjoyed. Like
the
that.
one that I wish I went
Yeah.
to, like I was at, was like that Blue Jays run when they had Batista Encarnacion,
Yeah.
that series
Yeah.
against Texas. Seeing that shit on TV, I wish I was there for that moment. And shout out one of our episodes that we have on the way too with Miss Mystery from Body Ammo, where she sat and spoke with Justin and I about the best Toronto moment, Kawhi championship, the Kawhi year, or the Blue Jays 92-93 championship.
It's a good conversation.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
30, and there's another song I can pull it up after, but
I feel like I know the line that you like on 32.
oh, for sure. What you know? There's a couple of bars that, trust me, stuck out in some of those random songs.
Yeah, same.
But I'd have to go back through it again because you know the ones that I always feel are those. I don't know. I have to go check the song title, but that Aston Martin music feel, that vibe, that I always talk about how much I like.
Yeah.
There's a song on there that gives me that vibe, so it's on my playlist now. I just don't remember what the title is.
He's got man.
There's a couple of them on there that I really like.
So is it fair to say that this is like a first time where you could actually enjoy the whole album? It's not just like a song or two. It's like you're enjoying the album. You know, like I don't consume music the way that everyone else does. I guess like maybe I'm that guy that's the core fan that 21 Savage was talking about when he's saying he's irrelevant. But to me, like it's like, yo, I'm enjoying the whole album. Even the other couple of albums that he put out, King's Disease 2, 1, and then Magic. I enjoy songs off of them, but I never really enjoyed the full album like this one.
So from beginning to end, you're all over it?
Yeah. Like I've just been on repeat in between. Without even getting to the end sometimes. It's just like, whoa.
You know my playlist, my Nas playlist is called?
No.
Willie Esco.
Okay.
Cause you remember how we had that conversation about the play on like people that I would always do with names and stuff like that?
Yeah.
My Nas playlist is called Willie Esco. My favorite Nas song, that's at the top of the list that if I'm going to draw for this, it's off of QB's Finest.
Okay.
Which is a collaboration album.
Yeah.
That's another sick album that doesn't get a lot of the credit that it should.
Yeah.
Right alongside CNN's second album.
Okay.
Capone Noriega's second album.
I never got into Capone Noriega.
Oh my goodness gracious,
yeah.
bro. Come on, man.
For me, it was out of that whole crew at least. I'm into Cormega like that. Obviously, Mobb Deep.
Yeah,
and then I never got into Capone Noriega.
See, even with Mega, I have a couple of guys that I know who are like diehard Mega fans.
Yeah.
Because of the whole like playoff and Nas and like that type of stuff that they're spitting, that flow, that vibe.
Yeah.
Never really got into Mega. I have 1-2 Mega albums.
Yeah.
But it was never I'm gonna go draw for the core Mega. He
I
got some of the playlists and stuff like that. But
I got his albums, man. Like, yeah. the one quotable, I guess, that I got that I like is it's not a rap song. Why you keep calling it that? Something in a. It's an audio book. I'm an author on tracks. That to me is like, yeah, like I see it that way too. I think I said this to you before too, where I want to go back and actually listen to my albums that I have of everybody. Because going back to another thing that you said earlier, my perceptions change. I listen to this differently. You know what I mean? Like I'm taking in more. I'm actually really interested in the extra details that you're giving me about certain things. And it's like, I think that's why I also enjoy this album a lot more too. I feel like my listening's just improved.
I've always wondered how it works for most people, whether they're I need to hear the beat first or I automatically start picking up on the lyrics.
I was the beat guy.
So
that's
was I.
Part,
is that just something you, because you're younger, like you're not as mentally developed to where you're just listening for a rhythm and a sound, and then you're not really, you're picking up on lyrics, but not the way that, like, not the real stuff that should be hitting home for you.
I think,
and then years later, it's like, oh shit, like these songs are really speaking to me.
You know what, man? I feel like I should have explored music more in my life. Like I was into like music, like learning it, reading it. Like I was doing all that, and then I never made that shift into what is next after your typical high school stuff. You know, I never did anything in college or anything after that. But I feel that was why I was into the production more. It was just so interesting to me. Like, what beat is coming in? Okay, how is this guy gonna flow on the beat? Whatever. If it was just lyrics and the beat sucked, I'd be kind of disappointed. Where I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Like I wasn't, I guess, mature enough to maybe just be interested in the lyrics. I would need that from the beat as well. But that's why Nas is so amazing. And a lot of people diss his beats, but whatever. But like he would just interest me so much in what he's got to say next from the whole thing. And yeah, like he's even got a song on this album called First Time, where he talks about how did it feel the first time you listened to me. And that's kind of what we're talking about, where you're saying, yo, the first album, your favorite album, I'm paraphrasing, was Illmatic. And I said, I really liked I Am. I Am is how I got introduced to Nas. You know? So that, and then he talks about it on that song. So it's like the feeling that you got were, oh man, it's like, shit, this guy's crazy. Like it's just so good. And a lot of people make fun of that album, but yeah, that's what put me on.
If there's one thing that I would like, there is no doubt, is if you're talking about a rapper who can speak from multiple perspectives, it's Nas. And there is nobody else. There is nobody else who does it better. You have there's no argument there.
I feel like you have a bigger range to back that up with. Like, cause I don't listen to as many people that you listen to. Like you're still listening to people like right now that are new.
And that's another thing. I've never understood how people our age don't still keep up with the new music. Cause most people I talk to, they still listen to the same stuff we were listening to back in 96 to 05.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I got to the point where I was listening to the same lyrics on a different beat. Like when DJs do that, that's what was happening to me. So when I get excited about this, now I'm kind of into wanting to learn what the fuck's going on again. You know what I mean? Like that's what he did for it.
That Benny,
bigger than an algorithm to be correct. Like that's a crazy line.
So that Benny that I had you listening to the other day, go listen to that Benny the Butcher album.
A lot of people have been recommending that.
But there's so many. There's, you know what? You know who just dropped some music recently too? That I rate? Pyrex from Rex.
Yeah, you're mentioning
Nats, you heard the song? Cool. Trust me, yo. Come on, man. Go listen to some Pyrex, yo.
I'm gonna actually get into that because this is the second time you're telling me about this, so that's good. This is what I mean by you're still listening. You know what I mean? You still got your ear there for that kind of stuff.
Regular, trust me. It's even that. Whoever wants my Rex playlist, link me, yo. What's up, Bun?
So do you get into the mumble rap? Do you get into this next wave that's coming? Yeah,
buddy.
Man,
I'm not as in like I used to be entrenched in that stuff, and because even when I used to DJ, trust me, I had the music. Like I was always on the computer downloading music. Makes sense. Like, it just didn't stop.
That makes sense.
So that thirst, because that thirst for music and what's out now and what sounds nice and yada,
you kept it.
Yeah, yo, I'm constantly listening to something, whether it's a podcast or music. There's always something in my ear.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Why? Like, so you continued to pursue music outside of whatever was offered at a certain point. Yeah, I cut that short.
What's crazy about now though is there's so much music to consume.
Man,
Like you listen to one album, you start to fall in love with it. It's like, oh shit, this came out now.
Yeah.
You start listening to that for a couple of days, on to the next one. It's just so fast. Another album that just dropped the other day that was really good too, Jeezy.
Yeah.
Jeezy drops. Trust me, Jeezy's album's nice.
Yeah. Eh?
Nice. There's so much music.
There was a documentary that I was just watching, right? It's on the new wave, Generation Z or whatever these guys are, right? The mumble rapper people, Lil Zane and then Lil Pump and those guys.
That's everything. Uzi Vert.
Yeah, like they didn't mention him in it. So they're talking about what these guys are on and how they're developing and how they're growing. And there was this one guy, I forget his name, man, Chris something, some rapper. And he's basically like, they're talking about SoundCloud and how they're releasing music and the impact that it has and how people are just listening to it and yada, 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 right? So he's like, the way he described it was crazy too. He's like, yo, I like the feeling of knowing that you're about to put something out right now that's going to make the internet go crazy. He's like, that's a real powerful feeling. Like, it's a good feeling. And I'm like, that's crazy too. Like, that's their level of a high. Like, I'm going to put this out on SoundCloud. A whole bunch of people are going to listen to it. They're going to go crazy over it. I could see how that would be addictive. You know what I mean? To have that level of access. Whew. This next generation is crazy with stuff like that right now. But then for me now to listen to it, like it's not, doesn't get me. I don't get it. Yeah, that's I don't know, sound old. Do you enjoy it when you listen to these guys?
Yeah.
Yeah? The same way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Eh?
But because a lot of it, see, the way they suck you in now is with the melody. It's a nice beat with the melody, and then you sort of have to like double back again to start picking up on lyrics. And one of the things that was pointed out to me not too long ago is Simba was on the Breakfast Club, and he mentioned Future. And he said a lot of people don't listen to what Future is actually saying in some of this stuff, but if you go back, there's a message there. Like, you could pick up on certain things. Like, Future has some lyrics that he's able to put some stuff together. It's just very hard to dissect.
Yeah.
But trust me, there's so many. And my very first time on Twitter, the first thing I ever tweeted was Lil Baby is this next generation's Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And trust me, the projects that he's dropping these days, they're up there.
Yeah. Eh?
Yeah.
When you say like Jay-Z, what does that mean to you though? Because it means
just
something
the
different to me.
impact that he had culturally.
Okay.
Because I know girls who will be like, yo, Jay-Z raised me. My dad never raised me. Jay-Z raised me.
Yeah, that's an interesting point of view. That girls are saying that?
It's like, and I think for anybody, I guess, who did have their dad, but let's say didn't have an older brother. Yeah. Jay-Z was
no, I get that. Brother. So I've heard that from like from a guy's side. Yeah, I never heard the angle from a girl.
I've heard buddy. I've heard girls say that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why he's the one and not Nas. Because you no can't female saying about a Nas.
Nah, you can't. I don't look at it like that. There's so many people that you are looking at are saying that.
I know. There's a lot of females that say, "Oh, Nas is the one for them too." Yeah, trust me.
Yeah.
You know what I just thought about too?
That Jay-Z? All the Nas fans are like, "Yo, what the fuck? Why is this guy talking about Nas and not saying nothing about Nas?"
I don't even think I said my favorite Nas song.
I wasn't asking song. I was saying albums.
I know, but I wanted to get that in there.
Yeah, go.
Look how I didn't even answer the damn question.
That's all good. Let's go. You see, like you got so much to talk about when you talk about Nas.
Find Your Wealth off of the QB's Finest album.
Find Your Wealth.
Nas.
Yeah.
That's a Nas song.
Yeah.
Off the QB's Finest album.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Nas song.
Okay.
I almost feel like we should go out to that song, but we got to do that meme of the week thing first.
You didn't give me the top 5 albums.
I'll do it before we go.
All right. Now presenting for the first time meme of the week.
Nah, don't do that.
He's a new Genghis Khan, man.
Yeah, trust me.
It's still funny.
Yo, but I really wonder what this guy's trying to do at this point, man. Like, I really wonder.
This is what it is.
I know, but like, do you think that's what it is?
He might as well. He's like, well, hey, fuck it. How many, like, Like I think they're all different baby mamas
That's
too.
pretty damn good, man.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Who sent you that?
I don't even remember now. I've come across it like 3 times, and it's still like it kept making me chuckle.
I'm not in enough circles, and I'm not on like the internet like that to come across these things that frequently. But when they do, and I actually catch a good one, I'll laugh still. I mean, yeah, that one's mine. I guess it's a play off of what yours was, but
that's fucking funny. Oh, that's almost too perfect.
But it's funny. To me, it's funny how we both came up with something that pertains to the same thing.
I don't even think it's just us though. I feel like that's what's the joke right now. Like that's what's going in people's circles. I think it's one of them.
Like that crazy right now?
It's that, or like you don't watch the fights, but like the Alex Pereira and Izzy, that's like a meme thing going on right now too.
All right, so I pulled these things up in front of me just so I don't mess this up, because you're asking me top 5 right now, man.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I thought it was gonna be easy, but it's kind of challenging.
It is challenging.
Yeah. There we go.
But I think I gotta go Illmatic at the top.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be in order, but that's fine. I could get that.
Then I'm gonna have to go Godson second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Stillmatic third.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm gonna go King's Disease 3 at 4.
Yeah. See, it's not that easy. I like that you put KD3 up there though.
You know what? Nah, it is. Yeah, Jermaine, you're right. No, you're right. Because that was the.
Did you say Stillmatic?
Yeah, Stillmatic was my number 3.
Okay.
I said God. No, yeah, I said Godson and Stillmatic. I'm lying. I put.
No, you said Illmatic, Godson. Then I don't know what you said for 3.
Stillmatic.
Stillmatic. Yeah, that makes sense.
But actually, I think I would put It Was Written and then Stillmatic and then King's Disease 3. I think that has to be my order. It was. I can't. That was. Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? Like the first Lost Tapes is also amazing.
It was.
Yeah, I know. And I've heard people say that should be in the top 5 too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's another really.
But you see, even going back to like what I said at the beginning, my favorite Nas verses ain't even on his albums.
That's all right.
That only built for Cuban Links verse that he has. There's a few of them. Anyways. Favorite song off that It Was Written album?
The
You're
Message.
probably gonna say Black Girl Lost. The Message?
Yeah. That line is like my favorite.